What's up, everybody? Tom Pelissero here at Gillette Stadium shortly after the Vikings' 28-18 loss to the New England Patriots. I went after the Vikings pretty hard in my column, so let's put this into some larger perspective in terms of where they actually stand now in the NFC. Packers win today, get a huge win over the Jets. They go to 5-3. The Vikings drop to 2-5, so they're now 2.5 games back in the division. They're 2 games back in the wild card. There's a bunch of teams at 4-3. This was a non-conference game. In the grand scheme of things, this wouldn't be a huge deal, except what you now basically have is it appears that 2 of the highest profile players in the locker room have declared war with Brad Childress. We already knew that the relationship between Brett Favre and Brad Childress was rocky coming into the game. Favre ends up starting, made a point after his press conference was done to say into the microphone, "And I will be ready to play next week," leaving Childress no wiggle room to suggest that he might not. Childress was pretty much resigned to the fact that Favre was going to be starting and said, "I think you guys can figure it out." Now with Moss, I can't even really begin to describe what sort of a 5 minutes that was. Moss comes to the podium, says that he's no longer going to answer questions. He'll ask his own questions and answer them. He then, for 5 minutes, proceeded to essentially make a sales pitch for the Patriots to re-sign him in the offseason, said nothing positive about his own team, ripped Brad Childress not only for not taking a field goal late in the first half, but also for not listening to what he had to say well enough, or at least that was the implication during the week about the tips that Moss was giving about the Patriots' offense and defense. So now you have a festering virus within the locker room. You have a negativity toward the coach coming from high-profile players. And on a struggling team, that's the sort of thing that can be toxic within the locker room. That's the reason that as the Vikings sit there at 2-5, yes, they came out of this challenging stretch of 4 games. I said they had to go 2-2, and they went 1-3. It's not the end of the world. The NFC is pretty much even. They can still get back into it. But I just wonder if players, especially the younger players, start to follow the lead of some of these high-profile guys who are coming out and publicly combating with the coach. It's something that could get ugly, and it's going to be something that's going to be worth monitoring. People are going to be talking about Childress' job personally with his extension through 2013 and the potential lockout next year. I don't see any way that something happens imminently here, and by imminently I mean the next few weeks. But who knows? The Wolves have a lot invested in this team. If things continue to go south and if players continue to rebel against the coach, anything's possible. Back in Minnesota tomorrow. See ya.